Greetings from Bellevue, Tennessee. This is Matt Osmond with Blinky's Offset Barbecue, and you're listening to The Barbecue
Do it
Central.
live. Okay. Well, do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. If you can believe it or not, this show originates from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evenings, a live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at BBQCentralShow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter, which we'll talk about here in a second. Coming up in about 12 minutes from now, you would have seen her beginning of the month, but she was out of the country. She's now back in the country. She is a quarterly guest in 2025 and in years past. Our pal Jess Pryles joins the show. So we'll talk about an Australia trip. We'll talk about some new products. We'll talk about the potential unveiling of new products that we don't know about yet that we might get a scoop on. We'll talk about this past weekend and the barbecue event that she was at. Plenty of topics and potentially heated discussion with our pal and the Barbecue Central Show's guest Hall of Famer, Jess Pryles, JessPryles.com for recipes, HardcoreCarnivore.com for accoutrement. And then we will move to the second hour, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be novel where in a fourth Tuesday of a month last week, we found 50% of the embedded correspondents, and that is not a good percentage. Considering we've had roughly 100% outside of the time earlier this year when Google Chrome and vMix decided to not play well together.
Andrew, you are
not playing well together. So when those two things were not playing well together, Rusty and John, respectively, had troubles logging in to their normal spots. And it was a show of Matt Osmond and Doug Scheiding, and then not even 2 months after the fact, here we are again. Doug Scheiding, Matt Osmond showing up last week, sans Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah, and a John Solberg from the state up north. However, unlike the last time when internet microbes caused the issue, this time it was the I forgot bug. So I thought it would be a novel idea to refire the Embedded Correspondent segment for this week and have the other half of the Embedded Correspondents that were absent on the fourth Tuesday, their normal slot, and we would ask the same list of 100% assurity questions. Oh, by the way, for fun and frivolity's sake, we will have a secret panel member in addition. That's right. No names, please. Rule number 1 of the show. By the way, there must be a lot of new people listening. I can see the downloads going up daily, 30 and 40% over the previous months. And I'm also getting a lot of emails saying every once in a while you're talking about rules of the show. What are rules of the show? Something we might get into a little bit later on, but not right now. So that's how the show is laying out here this evening. In the first hour, or should I say shortly, we'll have a Jess Pryles, hardcorecarnivore.com, jesspryles.com. And in the second hour, we will have, I guess what I'm hoping is the other 50% of the embedded correspondents. Rusty Monson from Utah said he's 95% sure that he can do it, which means that 5% has me all freaked out. All the while, I have booked either a third member, no names please, or a second member who would be making his debut during the embedded correspondence. I might go so far as to say unofficially official New York embedded correspondent. How about that? Still no names for you. Thought I was going to slip it up, but I didn't. So that's how the show is laying out here this evening. Don't forget you can follow me socially, Instagram, the Tweeter, the Ticker Talks, the Snapper Snaps, and the LinkedIns, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show. You used to be able to go to twitter.com/BBQ Central Show, but vMix is no longer playing with Twitter, so we're just going to go ahead and cancel that out right now. Or you can go to YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show, the @ symbol, BBQ Central Show, if you want to find me on YouTube. Both of those places have a live streaming video as it is happening right here, right now, auto-archived as the show ends. So if you're a big fan of the show and you couldn't possibly wait to hear the audio archive, you can always go to the video archives. It happens immediately as soon as the show's over, and then you can watch it and re-listen/rewatch till your heart's content. Because we stream on YouTube, we do have a new YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this. Until last week, and I forgot to add this preamble to the question, but before last week, have you heard of the African Charcoal Company? Currently, 62% of you are saying no. You have not heard of the African Charcoal Company. And by the way, I agree with you. Up until last week and seeing a post from Dr. Barbecue saying that he was jumping on board in some type of sponsorship role or spokesperson role, I had not heard of the African Charcoal Company. So I'm part of that 62%. We'll see how those numbers play out through the rest of the show. Results of the poll question from last week. Are you subscribed to the show newsletter? 70% of you are saying yes, you were. So to those 70%, I say thank you very much. That means 30% of you said no, you're not. But we do start here this evening where I say a very bold and a very stern and direct thank you to everybody who signed up for the show newsletter on the heels of the YouTube poll question of the week last Tuesday's show. Got a number of subscriptions, if that's what you call it, or a number of sign-ups for the show newsletter. And I do have to thank good pal of the show and monthly guest, first Tuesday of the month in the second hour, saying the cooking guy, who pointed out, it's not so easy to find where you subscribe to the show newsletter. I do say it's on the homepage of the show. So I'm going to take this moment. So if you're listening on audio podcast, you want to see what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go to Facebook or you're going to have to go to YouTube and pull up this portion of the video portion of the show. So this is what it looks like when you get to the Barbecue Central show. See some video teasers. Don't go to subscribe. This is only for the podcast. There's nothing here about, this is not going to get you to sign up for the show newsletter. Neither is this. Subscribe by email. That's an email way to subscribe to the show audio feed, if you can believe it. When you land on the home page, start scrolling down. If you can possibly get past the handsome man right there, you continue to scroll down, and you continue to scroll down. Oh, there's the ever-popular Meathead said pineapple's the best thing to come off a grill cartoon that Damian Rodriguez made. You continue to go through the show sponsors, and you continue to get all the way down at the bottom, and then guess what? There it is, right above the footer. Join our weekly show newsletter. So all you really have to do is put in an email address and then hit submit. But if you would like to put in your first name and last name and state, I'm happy to take that as well. But remember, you go to the home page. Don't click subscribe. By the way, there's going to be our guest here in a couple minutes. Don't click subscribe up here on the top part of the navigation. It's not taking you where you want to go. Scroll all the way down. Sign up here. Join our weekly show newsletter. Now, in fairness, I'm reaching out to Jotful to see if they can't move that around to make it a little bit more logistically advantageous for those that land on the website and want to sign up for the newsletter. But thanks to everybody that popped up the subs over the course of the last 7 days. I'll let you know how we work out with Jotful here next week. Jess Pryles is in the green room ready to go. And before we get to her, I'll talk to you quickly about Pits and Spits. Two things we're talking about here this evening. We're kicking things off with the Pits and Spits griddle. This gap-top griddle combines the power of a traditional grill with the versatility of a flat-top griddle. Engineered with precision, crafted from top-quality materials, the versatile griddle is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. Constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless steel, fully welded design, the griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones and gets blistering hot with 80,000 BTUs. When we last talked with Ryan at Pits and Spits, there was a 3-burner option coming down the pike. Yet to get visibility on that, but we'll keep checking in. Now, for those of you building your outdoor kitchen, your ultimate outdoor kitchen, I might add, you have to check out the built-in pellet grill, designed for the discerning grill master who demands top-tier performance. The grill is the centerpiece of any serious outdoor kitchen. Low and slow smoking, high heat searing, this grill does it all. Briskets, ribs, pizzas, veggies, you name it, this grill can cook it. And with Pits and Spits' legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last. With stainless steel construction and a design that's reliable as it is versatile. So, if you're ready to take that cooking game to the next level, you head on over to the website, pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. That's pitsandspits.com, all spelled out, by the way. Oh, with the double T on the pits. And the spits.com/BBQ Central. And when you check out, if you have over $500 worth of orders, you get a free spice pack. How about that? With promo code BBQ Central. We're back with Jess Pryles right after this. Stick around, be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and dare I say, the new wireless Fireboard Pulse. When you use the Fireboard app, you have total access to all of your Fireboard devices anywhere in the country and the globe, as long as you have an internet connection. Fireboard.com is the place to go, 816-945-2232 with questions. Maybe Ted Conrad will answer the phone himself. Never know. Leading off the show tonight, CEO of the hardcore Carnivore brand of products. Continuing still to create mouth-watering recipes at her namesake website, justpryles.com, and making her second quarterly appearance here in the year 2025. Also happens to be a Barbecue Central Show's guest Hall of Famer, because that is the crowning achievement, of course, without questions, Jess Pryles. Hey, Jess.
Very much the proudest moment of my career.
We have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests, so that's you. Have you ever heard of the African Charcoal Company? Yes or no?
No.
67% of the YouTube voting public is agreeing with you and me. They had not heard of the African Charcoal Company, but indeed, allow me to prove myself correct. Here it is, the African Charcoal Company right here, with the ever popular, I believe, acacia wood or something along these lines. Evidently, it's what you would call an invasive tree. I didn't know that was like such a thing, invasive tree, but nevertheless, invasive tree
invasive
it is.
To where, though? You know what I'm saying?
Africa, the grasslands of Africa.
I feel like it might be Australian, or maybe I've got it wrong.
No,
but
definitely African.
Nonetheless,
I saw the whole trailer. Saw the whole thing.
But hang on, where's it invasive to? Where did it come from?
I don't know. They left that part out.
Greg, why are you asking me about charcoal from whence you don't know the origins?
I was just asking if you heard about the company. Who cares where it came
I'm not
from?
part
I'm
of their
American.
target market. I'm too old.
Well,
I'm outside of their Facebook marketing.
Well, I don't know about that, because one Dr. Barbecue, Ray Lampy, does happen to be a spokesperson. So is he really?
I stand corrected.
Is it really? Anyway, last time you were on the show, we talked about washing chicken again. And then days later, Bobby Flay is doing some nonsensical Instagram rapid fire question video. And the second question somebody asks him is, do you wash your chicken? And he said, yes. Shocked?
No, I think Bobby Flay's got a great social media manager. And I think someone told him to seed that answer.
Engagement farming?
Exactly.
Ugh.
Clickbait.
The worst.
Engagement farming. I like that better.
You never heard that?
No. I'm telling you, I live in a little shell that's usually an airplane.
You can take engagement farm and make it your own. Fine with me.
Okay. I will. Imagine
Now,
what kind of animals grow up on an engagement farm.
Clickins. See what I did there? Clickins.
Ah,
Come on. I got them all. All day
that
long.
was good.
All
That
day
was actually
long.
really good.
How about this?
A Barbecue Central Show exclusive news update.
All right, this is Greg Rempe reporting from the breaking news desk here in Cleveland, Ohio, the city that breaks the most live fire breaking news across the country, nay the globe. And perhaps
Really?
better classified as like semi-breaking news, but we'll call it breaking news here on this show, because what do I have in my hot little hands is nothing other than hot honey butter mix, if you can see it. But wait, as they say in the infomercial, there's more. There's also a cowboy butter mix.
There
So,
sure is, Greg.
I'm not here to, as they say, kiss ass, but I have to say,
Just
in
take names.
a land where there seems to be endless options of rubs, this concept certainly standing apart from the rest. So, when did you identify that butter was being left out of that needs rub game?
It's an evolve or die situation, Rampy. Honestly, funny story. I was talking to another creator who was talking to me about, they're like, I was really successful on Instagram and Facebook, but I've got my fourth kid on the way and I need something that I can rely on. So I want to start a seasoning company. So I was mentoring this guy on the seasoning company because, you know, you got to turn your arm back to help the next person forward. And I was like, you could come up with something really innovative. And I came up with this idea and he's like, I think you should keep that one for yourself. And I want to do more traditional rubs anyway. So I was like, you know what? I will. And obviously cowboy butter, it's had a huge moment online. It's also variable, like everyone has a slightly different version of it. It's made with a lot of ingredients. But I have been using some of our seasonings to make compound butter, like especially our fried turkey, which is our seasonal edition. Like I make a compound butter to go with the yeast rolls at Thanksgiving by putting the seasoning in. And I loved the idea of really specifically making a blend to become compound butter. So with the cowboy butter, there's like lemon peel in there and chunky, coarse seasonings, just like as if you chopped it, mince the garlic yourself. And the hot honey has been specially formulated, so there's no like thick granulated sugar in there, because that would leave like unpleasant grittiness. So it's really been formulated to blend in and be smooth. And if you've ever tried to actually mix honey into butter, it's not that easy because they don't like each other.
Very hard. So we used the cowboy butter mix the other night, did a couple flank steaks on the grill. And I said,
What'd you reckon?
Well, this would be the time to use it. Maddie's boyfriend, Steven, was over, big beef eater, big fan of mine. And so we did the 1-stick room temperature butter and the 2 tablespoons of cowboy mix and did the whole whirl around and put it on. And I have to say, it was a delight. It was a delight. Steve liked it. I liked it. We slathered it all up and down the strips of flank steak. I figure like maybe from a usage standpoint, you get a little bit more luster on a personal steak and you just slam it down over the top and let it melt over. But even on slices of, because I didn't want to put it over the entire flank steak because there's multiple
Someone
people
might not
there.
have liked it.
I'm not here to offend anybody, so...
well, that's, I think that you've got the wrong attitude, because I think you should be here to offend everybody, first of all.
Wow.
And second of all, can I tell you that I'm trying to pioneer a new thing? Much in the way that JKF became a thing. I am trying to pioneer the steak butter board. So hear me out, Greg. Right. Butter does not belong on top of steaks, but rather underneath. So I take the butter, I smear it onto a board, I cut my steak, and I nestle it in said butter. Heat of the steak against the board melts the butter, because as you know, sometimes it can be a little difficult to melt, like especially if it's a firmer, straight out of the fridge kind of patty situation.
Sure.
And then you get a super even distribution as you pick up each slice of perfectly melted compound butter. And so I've been doing this for months, like kind of R&D wise, and everyone who's had it has been like, it was so simple this whole time. How did we not know? And here we are. So butterboard steaks, you're welcome.
Are you going to be trying to promote that more, or?
I am. I've already done a video for it, but you better believe. Yeah, I just want everybody who, obviously Barbecue Central is the epicenter of everything barbecue in the world.
Yeah.
And so let it be on record here first that you saw it here first, folks.
Are you going to come out with a butter board?
What does that look like?
I don't know, but I mean, there's always
like, is it just a slab of butter, like frozen into a board, or like you just place it on top of a cutting board and let it soften and then put your steaks on?
You know,
being a laminated thing.
Being a director of sales in the day job, you know, I'm big picture guy. I leave it to the people that are much smarter than me to actually get the rubber to the road. I just steer the ship. I create the vision, all this kind of fun stuff. And
when did you become a director?
Last July.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You don't talk about yourself enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very uninteresting. So with the butter board, I'm just thinking like it's just a regular cutting board, but maybe it's
just a regular wooden cutting board.
It says butter board or something along, or somehow you partner with Lando Lake or Kerry Gold or whoever your butter of choice is. They would be happy to align with you, I would imagine.
Yeah. What about if? So when you make a, well, yeah, I mean, not personally, but I hear that she's nice. So when you make a croissant, you have these huge sheets of butter that you laminate in between the pastry. So maybe it's just that pre-compound butter sheet that you put onto a board of the same size and just allow to come to room temperature, and then you've got a perfectly sheeted butter board, or you could just buy some hardcore carnivore butter mix it into a stick of butter, and smear it onto the board. Either
Probably
way.
the best idea. It's probably
Sure.
you can put butter on the plate too if you don't have a board. No problem. Same goodness.
Yeah, you guess. I just don't like the idea of. I don't know. There's something about the plate that's less pleasant than the board.
Whether it's
But you can. It's your house. Do what you want.
Of course. Whether it's you
Sorry.
or you and Chris, or let's say you're entertaining and you're making steaks, are you the person that takes all the steaks off the grill, and then are you cut all the steaks person and everybody's taking slices, or will you give to each their own?
So if I'm having like 4 people over for dinner, everyone will get their own steak. But a lot of the situations that I've been in, like I've been doing a lot of gigs for Kingsford lately. I got to cook for Jason Kelsey earlier this year. And part of that was like, you know, everyone's going to have a nosh, right? Like a nosh, like a little bite of bits and pieces. And sometimes in that setting, a whole steak can be a deterrent, like a cheese wheel. If someone doesn't make the first few cuts, no one's going in and you're left with a whole wheel at the end, right?
Yeah.
Like a whole wheel of brie. So I find that if you cut the steaks, I mean, I made like, you know, 14 picanha steaks or something. It was very generous looking, but it was just like an abundant amount of cut steaks. And so people were much more like, oh yes, I'll have 3 slices of this or 6 slices, or I'll go back and have seconds. It kind of breaks the ice on people getting in there and trying it. Which can be, I know it's weird because most people here are like, I don't need to be told twice to eat a steak, but sometimes in a social setting, it can be a little off-putting.
I feel like we're fleshing out some type of potentially mediocre to above mediocre idea, and I've never been a part of that. Now get it to market, goddammit, because I want to be successful.
All right. Well, should we call it the Rempy Butterboard?
No.
No?
It's got to be attached to you. Nobody knows me.
Maybe if the idea was good, I would attach it to me.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was horrible. I tell you what, Greg, let's workshop it.
Oh, yes.
You know, let's workshop
That's
it.
the term I like. Let's
put it in the
workshop.
subject of an email and we'll workshop it.
So aside from the hot honey butter mix, which, by the way, might get pressed into service this coming weekend as I do multiple racks of ribs, and it sounds great.
Yes,
as
I've
far
been
as
using it in my
that
rib
way.
wrap.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Any other butter rub options in the hopper?
Where I have a few other flavors that I'd like to develop, but I'm interested obviously to see how these go. And then part of it is also creating and sharing with folks. I love when people use our seasonings a little bit outside the box. So, you know, the most obvious things to do with cowboy butter is to use it on a steak. But I made, for example, a riff off a garlic bread where I got a whole bull loaf and cut it into 1-inch kind of cubes, but not all the way through, and then smeared the butter all through, topped with plenty of Parmesan, sealed it up in foil, and then you could do it in direct grill, smoker, or oven till everything melts through, and it just had this intensity of flavor, which was really wonderful. And hot honey butter, obviously, in a rib wrap, on fried chicken, on biscuits. So I'm most looking forward to seeing what other people can do with it. And then, you know, if things go well, we'll have some new flavors coming down the pipeline.
When I got the rubs together, I immediately broke open the Cowboy, and I was making a 3-pound 93.7 ground beef for dinner.
Ooh.
And I just opened it up and went hardcore rub on it. No butter, no nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I used it as a rub. It was rustic and very flavorful.
Yeah, I know some people so cowboy butter for me is a little bit too coarse for that, but there are plenty of people who enjoy that. And if you like it, there's nothing stopping you from just doing that.
Yeah.
Honey butter is another one. Like you can put it in butter on rib racks, or you can just sprinkle it straight on as is. So don't be afraid to use it however you think would be best. You know, everyone's got different palates and everyone's got different great ideas, except for the butterboard.
How's that?
Pre-made.
How's that everyday Kerry steak knife selling? Tough guy.
It's great. It's going guns. Everyone's got one. All the cool kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Why are you surprised?
I'm not.
Is it in your pocket right now?
So again, I mean, so the answer is no, but only because I have my nighttime pants on, and you can only see, from here up. So I'm
What's
casual underneath.
I can see why you do you feel like you should have a barbecue themed long sleeve? I don't like that you're.
It's
I
cold.
can't read your t-shirt.
My
But you can't wear.
shirt.
I know. I get it now. But can you wear a half-open thing over a graphic t-shirt? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, Toots. This is like
it
two
was
times.
99 today.
This is 2 times in a row you have had personal appearance fodder at my behest, and I don't like it. Last time it was I forget what even the hell you called it, some kind of dad sweater, or I had some Chevy Chase sweater. Is that what you call it? I don't know.
Was it Mr. Rogers?
No, but it was something
I don't
specific,
know.
Not very complimentary, I might add. And now
Well,
we're
it's because I feel
questioning
so
my
comfortable.
styling choice. I mean, I'm pretty elite when it comes to style, if you couldn't tell. So
Listen, I'm just saying, you've got that beautiful, expensive backdrop.
Yes.
You've got the voice that's smooth like silk.
Thank you.
Let's put a little effort in,
All right. I got.
Would it kill you? Would it kill you to find a long sleeve in a barbecue theme? I'll send you one.
Oh, I have my Pits and Spits t-shirt or a button up right over there. I should have wore that, I guess.
2 T's.
Wow. Good news. All right. So everyday carry steak knife is killing it.
It's doing really well.
Do you use it in steak cutting scenarios for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially when you go around Texas, when you go to barbecue joints, usually they'll give you like the smoked sausages whole, or if you're sharing with people, which you tend to do on the big things, you want to cut off a little bit of brisket, and usually you do not have silverware in a barbecue joint, and all you need is a knife for that moment to sort of like cut the brisket a little bit, because you don't want to if you're sharing with people who you're not, married or related to, it's a little bit untoward to sort of really get in there with your hands. So a little bit of a knife onto a tortilla, slice of white bread, where you go.
And then you just like a quick wipe off, fold it up back in the pocket, or like a quick trip to the John for a wash down, or
unnecessary, just a wipe. I'd like to think that the brisket fat sort of oils the blade, if you will.
Yeah. So wiping it, Doug Scheiding calls that barbecue clean. Do you agree with that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that, Doug. Good job.
You've been creating recipes as long as you have been appearing on the show, and probably even more than that. How do you stay curious enough to continue creating new recipes?
That's a really good question. And I'm actually writing another book at the moment, and that's been a real challenge because it's 100 new recipes. And I think that it's looking to other people for inspiration online in the things that you eat. I know in writing the book, I went to the Austin Library and checked out a bunch of cookbooks, not to know the recipes at all. I literally just read the titles and think about how people are using flavors and words. And I'll do things like, okay, I want to do a ham recipe. I want it to be sweet and caramelly. What sugars are available to me? Like, oh, I could use piloncillo. I could use palm sugar. Like, is there anything that would be a bit more caramelly? Like, could I use molasses? So that's sort of the springing up. And then okay, that's going to be sweet. What can I put with it that's going to cut through the sweetness that's a little bit unconventional that would be interesting? So that's how I tend to develop recipes. The techniques themselves are not so new, especially when it comes to barbecue. And luckily with this book, the focus is on meat. So there's a lot of different methods, cooking methods, not just smoking or grilling. But the one thing that has in common is it's all meat. And I'm excited. I'm jumping the gun because it's not out till late next year, and I'm excited to talk to you about it then. But I've been working my butt off, and I'm really excited.
I probably have a follow-up question to that. Can I hold you over for another segment, potentially?
Yes, but only because it's you.
Right. I'll take it. Thank you. Stand by. We'll be right back with Jess Pryles from hardcorecarnivore.com, where you can grab these beauties if you're looking to flavor your butter or whatever else. She says maybe a little too coarse. I disagree. Use as you see fit. And then arm yourself with a everyday carry steak knife. You never know when you're going to need that steak knife coming out of your pocket. Primo Grills is here. I was just using my Primo Grill over the weekend, so we did indirect grilling, or as Stephen Reichman would say, smoke roasting of a bunch of different chicken pieces, parts, and whole birds. And then the next night is when we did the flank steaks. So what do we love about ceramic cookers in general? Well, we love that they're fuel efficient. We love that they can get to the low and slow barbecue temperatures and stay there seemingly forever. Fuel efficient as all get out. But then we like that they can get rip-roaring hot for your traditional high-heat grilling experience if you would like to do that. What's missing in the everyday ceramic cooker lineup? The ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking is important to both professional backyard cooks alike. It's the best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire in a round ceramic cooker isn't very realistic. Why? Because it's round. And a Primo and their game-changing oval design, this shape gives you the ability to execute that two-zone setup that you desire, but also giving you other ceramic grill benefits as well. And when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways to cook on that Primo. So you're only limited by your culinary imagination. Only sold through dealers. Find one near you, primogrill.com. Use the dealer locator, and then visit those ovals in person, and then get the one that best fits your needs. Don't buy down, buy up. No one has ever been remorseful for buying up. Always remorseful buying down. Buy up. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. It's Primo Grill. In fact, my good friend Jason Kaplan from the Howard Stern Show going to be buying a Primo this coming weekend. Good for you, Jay. Shout out. How those Knicks doing? I lost the score. I don't know. We're back with more Just Pryles right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And this portion being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 3 sizes, a number of accessories. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or professional, it's just a cooker you want to add to the arsenal, especially if you're looking to get into that barrel segment. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com. Tell them I sent you on your merry way. And we are rejoined by Just Pryles hanging with me through the break, but only because it's me, and if it were you, you'd be shit out of luck, pal. So this past weekend, you were the host at Pig Beach in Astoria, New York. It's a big fundraiser, great guy. A lot of us know kind of the background there. It's also a growing into quite a destination food event every year. I remember the first couple years that it was going on. It was popular amongst the people that know, and then seeing what unfolded this past weekend, I was like, holy crap, this is one really jazzy event. And you were there. So have you been there before?
I had not. I had seen my friends, Chris Lilly and Tuffy Stone have done it for the last couple of years because they knew Jeff, who the benefit is for. And I knew it was a very prestigious event. And this year they asked me to come and host it, which was just very, very meaningful. And I said yes immediately. And it was awesome. It was really big event, all things considered, about 30 different pit masters from around the country, great variety of food, rib eating contest, like just a great event for a great cause.
What does it mean you hosted the event? What are your duties?
So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff going on. So for example, there's a raffle and a charity auction, and there's different stuff going on that you have to sort of let people know and how they can sign up and do things. So I'm up there on the mic, letting everyone know what's happening throughout the day and telling them the different ways that they can engage, and also telling them a little bit about Chef Jeff and his family and what the foundation does. And then, of course, announcing the awards at the end of the day.
What's your favorite part of the day?
Honestly, I met Jeff's daughter Hayes, and she was up there picking the raffle with me. And the really cool part, if you're a crier, don't listen to this. I could see her mom looking at me a little bit trepidatiously from the audience, and Hayes did a really good job reading out the numbers, and she was really good, really precocious. She was awesome, and she got off stage, and her mom came up to me and said that she has a really bad learning disability and is quite dyslexic, and she would never have let her go up on stage. But she was really proud that she wasn't able to kind of stop her and helicopter parent, because she really kind of did her proud. So I know that doesn't have anything to do with barbecue, but I think that's the point, that a lot of it is about the people and giving back to the family. So that was my favorite memory of the day. And then, a little bit less seriously, there was some great hangs with great people and some amazing food. I finally got to try, Billy Durney was there doing his famous Red Hook Tavern burger as a slider, which is a dry age burger that is custom blend for him by Pat LaFreda. That was incredible.
So aside from Hayes, who was your favorite person you met for the first time?
I don't know. I think I knew most of the folks there. I don't have favorites.
Sure,
I don't meet strangers, just friends I haven't met yet.
Oh yes. Who's your favorite person you see regularly on the barbecue trail you saw last week?
I probably see Chris Lilly most frequently because we're also Kingsford fam. So not only do I get to see him at events, but we do a lot of stuff together with Kingsford, and I consider him, a great friend, and he's a lot of fun.
How good are his kids?
Big bourbon collection.
Yeah,
huh?
So I've heard. How good are his kids?
Yeah. How good are they?
Yeah.
They're good. They know what they're doing. I mean, they're going to be the future of Big Bob Gibson. They're at every Memphis in May with him. They're at every competition. They're at every gig with him. They're men. They have children themselves now.
Yeah.
So they're very, very accomplished, and I think soon you'll be seeing the spotlight on them as much as him.
Should I go to that event next year?
Andrew and JJ. Yeah, it's not that far for you.
I mean, it's like New York City,
One flight.
Right?
I know. Well, I flew. You can fly.
You give me an invite?
What if you did a live something?
What if I co-hosted?
I'm in.
Can you pitch
Let's do that?
to
I'm
the
going to tell
powers that
them.
be?
Yep, 100%. Yep. Yeah, because I feel like Greg Rempe hosting has a lot more power and oomph than me. I feel like you should just.
We could collaborate.
You should just. Yes. Do you want to do like the song quiz live? Maybe.
I mean, we got a lot to work on in 364 days. First of all, I gotta get an invite to do that. Number one, but after that,
I'm gonna work on it for you.
Floodgates are open.
I honestly think you'd be fabulous at that because you are the voice of barbecue, after all.
I have some experience hosting event. We do the Grill Fest every year down here in Hartville, where I interact with folks doing live demos. I don't know. Have they ever reached out to you to come up to Hartville and do live demos by chance?
They haven't, actually. No.
Is that something you would do? Would you do that?
Yeah,
Is that
definitely.
your wheelhouse?
Live demos? Yeah, I do live demos all the time.
Yeah, but
I've just had this run of doing hostings. Like 2 weeks prior to being in New York, I was in Perth, Australia, hosting the Australian Wagyu Association Awards, which was super fun and very unexpected. But, I'm a wearer of many hats, so rock and roll.
Season 3 TV show? Anything? What do we know?
Nothing in the hopper just yet, but there's season 2 is going to air later this year, and there's some other news that I can't say yet.
Different TV show altogether?
No, a different place that you'll be able to watch the show.
Does it rhyme with NBC? Thank you.
N-O!
Oh, all right. Well, thought we'd give it a shot. So you took a trip back to Australia.
Yes.
Best thing you ate?
So listen, it is the Australian Wagyu Association, right? So it would be remiss of them to have an event and not serve Wagyu. The thing is, it was a 550 person event at a football stadium, and they served 2 tomahawks per table.
Wow.
And Mayura Station, who did the Wagyu, flew their executive chef out to train. Like, catering is never renowned for being very great. This was restaurant quality for 550 people of some of the best Wagyu in the world that you could possibly eat.
Wow.
So that was pretty great, quite frankly. Then, of course, my mom's cooking, smashed a meat pie, had some fish and chips, the huge Vegemite.
Best place you visited?
Home?
So speaking of home,
I tell you what, I was going to go to. Have you ever heard of a quokka?
who hasn't?
No, seriously.
No.
Quokka. They are the cutest little animals. They look like if a wombat and a koala had a smiling baby. And they live in this island off the coast of Perth. And I was nearly going to go just to this island just to have a photo with a quokka because, it's like an extension of the squirrel thing, but didn't make it. But that's what I would have done.
So speaking of home, you post a picture of your grandma who just on photo strength alone, straight up queen. And then you share a story about, which is both harrowing and outrageously inspiring. What trait of hers do you see most in yourself?
I mentioned in that post, so I guess for all your listeners that didn't see the post, my grandmother survived Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen, and she just turned 100 last year. She has the tattoo on her arm and everything. And it's so, we always talk about her being a Holocaust survivor, but she's so much more than just that. I think that it takes a certain stubbornness, and I don't use that as a negative, to survive. And I think I have that sort of don't take no for an answer spirit from her. Absolutely. She used it to survive. Then later she used it to build a business. And I saw it directly from her and continue to.
A couple days
ago. That
was
was nice of you to bring that up, Greg. Thanks.
Of course. It was very nice. Very nice post. Learn a little bit more about the Jess Pryles personal. You recently hit the immigration anniversary.
Yes.
Like a day or two ago, and you celebrate with Whataburger.
Yesterday.
We can talk about that like at another time. So congrats on the anniversary. I wonder,
10 years.
What would your career look like if you never left Australia?
I don't know. Because the thing is, Australia is an amazing place full of great people, incredible produce. I encourage everyone to visit there. But for context, the entire population of Australia is the same as the population of Texas. It is a very small country considering. And so I think overall there's less opportunity. And so I'm grateful to the United States, and Texas especially sort of gave me a big warm hug and embrace. And I think that being in this country made the biggest difference to where I'm at today.
Is it hard to be so far away from home?
Well, this is home now.
Yeah, but like where your mom and dad are from, like your home.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks to be so far away from family, but I don't know. I've been really, really lucky, I got to say. Like, work took me home. I'm going back to Australia again in 3 weeks for work again. My mum's going to come up to Sydney to see me. So I do feel very grateful compared to other expats who maybe only get home once every couple of years. Like, I managed to see my family multiple times a year, and smash out some work at the same time. So it's hard, but I think I wouldn't change it.
Question. Are we starting a barbecue/life podcast?
Do you want to?
You can't answer.
Do you know what?
The question.
Yes, we are. Here's why. Because out of everybody that I talk to, you and I riff the most naturally, and we often divert off barbecue topics.
Yeah.
We can cover silly things, we can cover serious things. And I think that we've got a lot to say. So, and you also encouraged me to have better microphones, so that's a plus.
What would the title of said podcast be?
Jempy?
Huh.
No.
How about Hardcore Central? I think we're hitting a lot of angles there. There's going to be a lot of oops, I stumbled across this podcast, but I'm going to stop and listen to it anyway. And
someone's hitting a lot of angles at Hardcore Central, and it's not us.
That's right. That's right. I think that's a catchy title.
I'm going to give that some thought.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you have a live stream. I know you have people live reacting, and I know you have a poll, and I genuinely want your listeners to tell us if they would listen to a podcast of you and me. Because I'd be down, for sure.
We'll fish it out there.
Okay.
Jess, you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game, Greg?
Boy, do I. And tonight, are we turning tables?
We are. I
right.
challenged you last time.
Yes.
How long have we been doing this now?
Years.
All right. Okay, I'm going to have to host now. So for all you out there that don't know, Greg and I play a game at the end of the segment.
Yep.
Betwixt the two.
Betwixt-The Two.
So of these two songs, which is the better song? And every time he challenges me with the question, and today I am going to challenge him with the question. Are you ready?
Do you want me to introduce myself first, or you just want to get right in?
Yeah, could you let us know a little bit about you?
Yes, my name's Greg Rempe. I'm host of the Barbecue Central Show. Been doing that live since 2008 from the rock and roll city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, and just gall darn happy to be a contestant on Betwixt-The Two. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We're going to put your rock and roll knowledge to the test here, Greg.
All right. We'll see how well I do.
From the 1986 album Slippery When Wet, which of these is the better song?
Okay.
Of course, we're talking about Bon Jovi.
Of course.
Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Oh, boy.
Or Living on a Prayer.
Well, I'd like to say this is a noggin twister. However, while Living on a Prayer is a standard amongst the hairband faithful, there's no doubt in my mind, and with 100% assurity, because I also sang it on Barbecue Central Show's American Idol and won with it, Wanted, Dead or Alive is the best song betwixt the two. Final answer, and I just locked it in.
Greg?
Yes?
You are correct.
Oh! Thank God! Right off the rip, I am a winner here, so good for me.
Yeah, and in fact, fun fact, I had no
Yes.
idea that you had sung it because that is my karaoke song.
It is?
It is, and I commit
Whoa.
with full air guitar.
Yeah, well, I would love to sit here and tell you that I'm going to race through the archives and find my rendition of Wanted, Dead or Alive, because it was sung live during the championship portion of American Idol Barbecue Central Show. I can
I
tell
don't
you
understand why you wouldn't do that for us.
I'm never going to do that. Happened. That happened. And like full stop. That happened. I won. I beat Rusty, who sang some stupid song. He kind of killed himself on that one. But I was like, I was holding back in the open, and then right at the end, I just let loose.
Let it go.
Full old school John Bon Jovi. Even the lead singer from 3 Years Hollow, who was our guest professional singing judge, said that he was shocked that I was able to attain the notes that I did. So
That's amazing. Everyone go and search for it now, and maybe the power of our group search will cause it to rise in Google rank.
Crowd search, Wanted, Dead or Alive, Barbecue Central Show. I'm sure it'll come up. No problem. Jess, anything you would like to promote before I let you go this evening? And of course, I appreciate the extended visit.
Please try our butter mixes. I'd love to know your thoughts. You can find me at jesspryles.com, the seasoning at hardcorecarnivore.com. Same socials for both, or respective socials for both. And I always love being here and chatting to Greg. Thank you.
Jess?
I was talking to them, not you.
Yes, we'll talk to you again in 3 months' time.
All right. Thank
See ya.
you. Good
There she is. Jess Pryles right there. Again, if you're wondering, JessPryles.com for all the recipes and for all the seasonings and associated accoutrements. It is hardcorecarnivore.com. And now, I can catch up here. Hey, Big Papa Smokers is celebrating 15 years. Oh, by the way, Maddie and Steve are watching. Hello, Maddie and Steve. Hello. Hello. Big Papa Smokers celebrating 15 years. I can't believe it. Both the Backyard Warriors and the competition pros bring home the grand championship. Whether you're prepping for your next comp or just firing up the grill for spring, Big Papa's award-winning rubs like Sweet Money, Competition Brisket, and Steak, Cash Cow, Cattle Prod have the bold flavors to take your barbecue to the next level. And for a limited time, they have brought back a fan favorite, Cucaracha. That extra little kick you've been craving. Barbecue Central Show listeners, this one's for you. Use promo code BBQ Central 25. All together, BBQ Central 25 at checkout. And get free shipping now through June 30th. So you still got a little time on that. Through the Memorial Day, all that fun stuff. Go to the website, bigpapasmokers.com. Stock up on everything. And then get it shipped to you for free. BBQ Central 25 at checkout. All right, we're back to wrap the first hour. Right after this, stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we welcome you back to the Barbecue Central Show. Hello. There's Maddie. Logan Chestnut weighing in. Jess Pryles equals GOAT. Hardcore Carnivore on flake steaks from Army Steve, right there. Soldier of the Year. How about that? Keeping your lives safe while killing people who threaten our freedoms the most. I don't know about the second part. I'm sure he would. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up this first hour. We thank Jess Pryles for joining us for an extended segment. And by extended segment, I mean 2 segments. Again, her websites, if you are into recipes or you're looking for recipes, it's JessPryles.com. If you're looking for rub seasonings, there's that Burnt Ends barbecue sauce that she brought out a couple years ago. And a whole bunch of other stuff. You go to hardcorecarnivore.com. Next week, we will vote on the potential podcast name of Hardcore Central. Saw a cat rolling around here just a second ago. He's leaving. Good. It's that tick machine, Chewy. Effing cat. Hardcore Central. Like, let it marinate with you. Sit with it for the week. And then when I come back next week with the YouTube poll question of the week and say, is Hardcore Central the best name for a Jess Pryles, Greg Rempe podcast, you will be able to answer yes or no. I understand this name is asking for trouble. But also, think about all the ancillary traffic you can get. Think about all the people that are going to be happy to wear our gear. We're going to make millions. It's going to be great. Like, that's why you get into a podcast, to make millions. I mean, I got to find some podcast that makes millions. Anyway, we are pointing to the second hour. Go ahead and refresh your libations, and we'll come back for the second hour. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
is Jennifer Palamas from Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
So listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about all the most important barbecue and grilling items that are happening over the course of the week, the month, the quarter. It's in the news cycle of live fire. We're doing it, and we're doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. We're doing it live. I said that. If you missed the first hour, shame on you. You missed two segments with one Jess Pryles from hardcorecarnivore.com or jesspryles.com. But don't worry, you can get the audio podcast tomorrow, early morning, and then you will get the second hour of the show, which is happening right now. You'll get that on Thursday. Talk about Friday here in a second. Barbecue Central Show is originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
We say good evening to those of you, still to come on this show tonight is the other half of the Embedded Correspondents, along with a unnamed special guest. So it's either going to be 2 or 3 people on the dais here this evening. Hopefully the other half of the Embedded Correspondents, and then said debut Embedded Correspondent guest, who we will say is officially unofficial Embedded Correspondent of New York. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of the video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com or slash BBQ Central Show, or you can go to youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. Either place is where you can watch the show happening live. We have a YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this, including all guests. Have you heard of the African Charcoal Company? And currently 75% of you are like, nope. That's a growing number. When I asked Jess Pryles in the first hour, it was at, 65% at that point. But now it is 75% growing in the other way. It looks like we still got about 10 or 20 votes to go before we hit our normal limit where it seems to taper. But 75% are saying no right now. And again, invasive to what, like, where did it come from? I don't know. Where does acacia start and how does it get to the grasslands of Africa? I don't know. But I do know it's invasive, and I do know that it's saying that it's the best charcoal available. It's also best for the earth. I don't know what that means. I'm just trying to figure out where the name recognition is, and most of you don't have any name recognition with it. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 381, taking you back to March 31st of 2016, where we find the first and somehow only time that this guy has appeared on this show, Scott Thomas from Grillin' Fools fame. During the moments of this particular interview, you will get some background on Scott and how he rose to prominence in the social media world. He then, after figuring it all out, parlayed that into selling social media classes to anybody that would buy them. He basically taught you how to work the algorithm in order to get followers, not buy followers by any stretch of the imagination, but was teaching people how to figure out what the algorithm is and then post that would better suit that algorithm to enhance your follower count, but all legitimately. and charging right along for that. Seemed to do pretty well. I know a lot of folks that took that class. Still doing it today. Not so much the classes, I don't think, but still doing cooking, still doing grilling fools. Certainly a success in many facets of the live fire world, both from a cooking standpoint and one who has been able to amass money and gear within the industry that most of us could only dream of, but because he had a great social media following, he was on the lives, he was on the posting, he was doing all the right things in all of the best times, and rewarded handsomely with some of the best cookers out there and made some great relationships. So all congratulations to him. So if you're not familiar with Scott, great way to get an intro to him, by the way. Let me say this. Scott and I fully agree on at least one thing, if nothing else, that you will also learn in this. Keeping your day job while also learning how to monetize your side hustle. And then after you have figured out how to monetize the side hustle, keeping both. For the longest time, I heard, you should leave your day job and then go all in to your passion. Do that for your job. You'd be so much happier. You know what I say to that bullshit? What if something happens with your passion? What if you find out that in 6 months, that is not really your passion and you've left your job? Whatever happened to liking money? What if you're really good at your day job and you make a good living, and you're really good at your side hustle and you can make, I don't know, whatever decent money is to you at your side hustle, and usually side hustle, any money is good money. If these aren't competing, if they're passing like ships in the night, then why not keep both? Scott and I, at that point in 2016, were on the same page right there. So check it out this coming Friday. You can subscribe to the show by visiting thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or segment again that you feel has been lost in the archives of the show, you can send our pal John Solberg an email. He's the executive producer of the show, and his email is John, J-O-N, John, J-O-N at thebbqcentralshow.com. And he'll do his best to meet your expectation. Email from David. Dear Greg, you are somewhat inspiring in your ability to brush off things that would upset and frustrate others in similar positions. As another dad/guy in my early/mid-50s, I appreciate you discussing that kind of grown-up thought process. Your ability to roll with the punches is admirable, particularly when you have those last-minute no-shows. That being said, I also love that you openly claim that you live in the state of hypocrisy. So maybe you are deeply bothered, but you hide it well. My last comment on your banter is about your espousing the idea to maintain performance expectations. As somebody that is also in the sales business, I'm in medical sales, I am always being expected to grow business, comparing last month to the month before, last quarter to this quarter, and last month to the same month last year. How do you get your position? How do you get to your position with the viewpoint of maintain expectations and not X time period has to outperform the previous time period by 10%? Really love the show and the humanity that comes with it. Regards, David. David, thank you for writing into the show. Last part, David, first. How do I maintain expectations and not X time period has to perform the previous time by 10%? So while this is the show, while this is a business for me, I do try to run most aspects of it in general business practice. I do have expectations that from year to year, the show will grow in subscriptions or subscribers, that the show will grow in downloads. That goes hand in hand with subscribers, not all the time, but more or less. And then I also look at the financial picture of the show, and I see what my gross revenue was the previous year, and then say, okay, can I get 10% more? Can I get 20% more? Can I bring it? Can I keep the same amount of sponsors that I have now to guarantee that if they stay all year, this will be... Uh-oh. Well, I might have done a terrible thing now that I'm looking at it. Rusty, I see that you're in. I'm breaking format here. Rusty, I see that you're in. But I feel like you might have just taken the special guests. Are you in the Rusty link on the Embedded Correspondents page? Use the Rusty link if possible. I think we might have jacked special guest. Oh, that's not a good link? How about, can you use the Matt link? That's typically a good link. Try the Matt link. All right, there he is. He's back. Sorry, I'm breaking format. Well, we're out of time, everybody. Okay, running logistics on the show, everybody. I don't even know what the hell I was saying. You know, a lot of times people come up to me or they'll email me and say, you said this on the show. And my reaction is, I did? I am taking in, as it's happening, 50% of the show. At best, 50% of the show. All right, I want to go box 4. I want to go guest 4. There he is. All right. Stand by. It's like I'm getting connection issues, too. But I see everybody here, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm only hearing 50% or less of what I'm actually espousing out of my mouth. So we have the other half of the Embedded Correspondents. We also have special guests. We're going to come to that here in a second. So stand by for that. David, thank you for writing in, by the way. Speaking of a David, let's talk about David McDowell and the barbecue diet program. Are you tired of diets that make you choose between good food and real results? That sucks. Well, you don't have to anymore. David McDowell has cracked the code. His personalized fat loss coaching for barbecue lovers lets you eat the food you love, ribs, brisket, wings, still lose weight, get lean, feel amazing, stop being fat. This isn't some fad. It's a proven system that includes barbecue-friendly meal plans, tailored health strategies, weekly check-ins, so you're never guessing, never alone, never forced to give up what you love. And if you want to be part of something bigger, you want to surround yourself with like-minded barbecue lovers who are dropping weight, getting stronger, staying motivated, then go online to the Barbecue Diet Group. That's where you need to be. Here's the deal. You can keep struggling on your own, or you can plug into a system that works. I know firsthand this works. I'm on it going into week 9 now. Join now. Get exclusive access to expert coaching, real-world strategies, and a support crew that won't let you fail. Go to skool.com. That's SKOOL. Skool.com/BBQ right now and take the first step, because you can have barbecue. You can also have your dream body too, but you have to take action. So go to skool.com/BBQ. Once again, Skool is spelled SKOOL.com/BBQ. We're back with the Embedded Correspondents and a special debut guest as an Embedded Correspondent. Not on the show. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And we welcome you back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. You step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. Color Line is one of my favorites right now. However, the Herencia Habano wrapper will blow your face off. By the way, Steve and some other guy, I'm not going to remember, have been asking me for samples. They went out in the mail today. So they're USPS priority. You should see them by the end of the week. at the latest, and then let me know what you think of them. McAuliffeCigars.com, the place to go, MICALLEF. And Amanda McAuliffe will be on the show at some point next month to talk about the Purple Series. All right. It is the 5th Tuesday of a month, and that can only mean bringing a visit from the other half of the Embedded Correspondents that were wholly unavailable on the show during the 4th Tuesday of the month, which is totally fine by this guy. It is John Solberg, Rusty Monson, and in the top right corner, making his Embedded Correspondent debut, the officially unofficial Embedded Correspondent of New York, Len Hollywood Averman. Look at him.
Whoa!
Of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast, the co-host to Doug, of course, who we know was trimming the fat out and trying to take over that show as much as he possibly can. Len, appreciate you joining in the show tonight. So it looks like we have a full dais here this evening, and we got plenty to get to. So before we get to the Embedded Correspondence and the 100% Assurity picks, we have a YouTube poll question of the week. And we're asking everybody, including all guests. And Len, we will start with you since you are new man in here this evening. Have you heard of the African Charcoal Company, yes or no?
Only because, no, I have not. But I did hear that, what do you call it? Dr. Barbecue was repping them. But that is all I know.
Rusty, you have heard of the African Charcoal Company?
I have not heard of them, no.
Huh? John?
I have not heard of them.
Oh, look at you.
You are
Not heard of the African Charcoal Company. 77% of the YouTube voting public is agreeing with all of us that we had not heard of the African Charcoal Company. So, before we get into this tonight, Rusty, how is the food trailer business? How is brick and mortar potential? How's everything?
Well, I've had nights off, so that's a plus. So, I'm able to not be there from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's working out. It's been really fun. It's been nice to have one spot because we have all these people that come and visit us and that they can't make the food truck, and it's more than I thought. So it's been really nice, actually. I'm really happy I did it, but it's kicking my butt.
John, we're not doing promotion yet, but what's new with you?
Everything is routine. Everything is just like I'm living life 15 minutes at a time and just getting stuff done.
Len, welcome to the show. Do you have any opening remarks?
Wow. It's an honor to be here. I can now cross this off my bucket list.
All right.
This is the ultimate. I have, Doug is taking over my show. So I'm going to, see, maybe I can slide in quietly and, I'm not taking over for Doug.
Coup d'etat? Do we have a coup d'etat? Is that what we're talking about? Or here we go.
Maybe.
100%. Her 100% Assurity questions. Len, you know the rules here. I'm going to make a statement. I will start by saying 100% yes or 100% no, and then the statement will follow. You will either say 100% yes or 100% no. If a follow-up is necessitated, we will take you to task, but otherwise we will continue to move through here smoothly. So, Len, 100% yes or 100% no. Mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, Joe Sakis, has serious guest Hall of Fame potential in 2025.
He's got to do it a little more. Yes, he had a great appearance, but one appearance does not the Hall of Fame make. I think he's on his way.
So 100% no.
Oh. So 100% yes. No, yes. That is
play by the rules. Come on.
I got to get used to it. I apologize.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. Mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, Joe Sakis, has serious guest Hall of Fame potential in 2025.
Yeah, 100% yes. A lot of potential.
John, Joe Sakis, the mayor of the city I once to live, serious Hall of Fame potential, guest Hall of Fame potential 2025.
100% no.
Right. I still remain no. I'm with Len. Are you in a similar mindset of Len, where it's got to be more than one here, John, or just no for you?
No, it doesn't have to be more than one. That's the rules.
Right.
So one appearance on the show qualifies. He's qualified.
Yes.
But I just don't see the potential.
Let's go to John, who is sitting as the longest running embedded correspondent amongst all of us here this evening from the great state of Michigan. John, 100% yes or 100% no. Sam the cooking guy will be at 4 million subscribers by Thursday, May 1st, as Matt Osmond predicted 2 months ago.
100% no.
Rusty, Sam the cooking guy, at a 4 million subs by Thursday.
No, I was rooting for him, but no.
Len, Sam the cooking guy, to 4 million subs in a day and a half.
Not happening. Sorry. No.
It is unanimous. As I said last week, the math don't math. There's no way that we're getting to 4 million subscribers by Thursday. And that means Matt's coming out of pocket $2,000 to pay to Sam as well, because that was the bet he made. Too bad for him. Dummy. Hey, John. 100% yes or 100% no. You have been to at least one HPB Expo in your live fire life.
100% no.
Rusty, to an HPB Expo in your live fire life.
I don't know what that is, so I guess not.
That's the event they trot Pat LaFrieda around. Len, you have been to at least one HPB Expo in your live fire life.
Not only have I not been, but you might want to make it a YouTube poll of the week and ask, do people actually know what that is?
Wow. So half of my dais has no idea what the HPB Expo is. And somehow I come out looking like a rose. Not only have I been to one, I have been to 2 HPB Expos in my life, once in Atlanta and then a couple of years ago when it was in Louisville, Kentucky. By the way, I've been getting email over the course of the week because of how I say that city that I visited in Kentucky. People want me to say something other than Louisville. I mean, how else does anybody say it? John, how do you say that city?
Louisville.
Right. Rusty, how do you say that city?
It's Louisville.
Right. Len, you want to weigh in?
Oh, you're asking the guy with the New York accent how
Yes.
to say something?
That's right.
Okay. Louisville.
Yeah, you say it wrong. It's Louisville. That's how we say it. All right. No, wait, I got to back up. John, have you ever been interested in going, or were you on the cusp? I
Yes.
felt like you were at one.
Yeah, very much so. As a matter of fact, being in the trade show industry, I've actually worked to try to get customers to actually be exhibitors and get there that way. But no, I have never been. But yeah, it's on the list. I'd like to go for sure.
All right, here we go. Back to Len. Hollywood. Aberman. 100% yes or 100% no. Proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds, I've used the hardcore carnivore everyday carry steak knife in a real-life situation within the last 7 days.
I would say probably not.
Okay. Rusty, I've used the steak knife within the last 7 days.
7. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yes. You did.
100% yes for Rusty. Mr. Positivity reigning through as always. John, 100% yes or 100% no, proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I've used the hardcore carnivore everyday carry steak knife in a real life situation within the last 7 days.
100% no.
And
God
of course,
help us if you'd actually
the
did.
answer is 100% no. While I did talk about it with herself, Jess Pryles, in the first hour, I continue to have an issue with just getting that thing barbecue clean, as Doug put it last week, by wiping it off after I use it. I would need to go wash it somewhere, and then that makes me feel really weird, and I'm not going to do that. But I do carry it in my hip pocket just in case. You never know, but it's there. It's there. All right, let's go back to Rusty. 100% yes or 100% no. Matt Osman has not sent me even one Instagram video via direct message since I threatened to ban him last month.
I feel like he couldn't help himself. So I would say he did.
Yes, Lord. John, Matt has not sent me even one Instagram video since, via DM since I told him not to. Otherwise, I would ban him last month.
100% no. He sends them.
Len, Matt Osman has not sent me even one Instagram video via DM since last month.
I'm going to say he has slipped up and probably pressed the send button at least once.
All right. Gang, believe it or not, I can tell you with 100% of surety that Matt has not sent me even one. He's done it. He has not done it through his own terror, as he explained in depth last week, of having multiple times over 30 days, having something locked and loaded only to go back in and delete it out and not send it. He has somehow been able to maintain self-control and not sending me any more Instagram videos via DM, which I certainly appreciate because they were fast and furious and never ending. John, 100% yes or 100% no. You would pay to have a company clean your grills every so often versus doing it yourself.
100% no.
Rusty, pay to clean?
Fuck yes. And if you're listening and you're in Utah, call me. Google my name right now. Please.
Len, 100% yes or 100% no. You would pay to have a company clean your grills every so often versus doing it yourself.
Hell no. You know what it would cost me to clean the grills around here? No way.
No way. I agree with John and Len. No way, as I mentioned last week. Not only am I too cheap to do that, I would watch them clean the grill probably way better than I could. And then because my OCD tendencies would kick in, I would go and re-clean the grill that I just paid to have somebody else clean because that's what kind of a maniac that I am. John, now you are perhaps one of the most prolific grill cleaners and restorers I have ever known in my whole lifetime. So what's the key to properly cleaning the grill? If you could only give one piece of advice, what it is?
Just do it. I mean, one piece of advice is have a spring cleaning, have a cycle. If you have a lot of them, try to get as many done as you can at one time, so you're not doing it throughout the whole year. And,
what about that thing you have, like the foam sprayer? You need one of those?
You don't need one. I use ammonia a lot in grills outdoors. It really cuts through the grease, cuts through the creosote buildup on kettles. And it's, you don't want, it's straight ammonia. So you don't want to get it in your nose. You don't want to get around. So that pump up sprayer, same type of sprayer everybody uses to spray their ribs with. Just don't confuse your sprayers. Make sure that your hazard communication is properly labeled, and just pump it up, spray it down, let it sit. All that stuff melts off, falls off, comes off. Ammonia is cheap and it works really well.
Piece of advice there from our pal John Solberg from Michigan, and the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, executive producer. We go back to Len. Len, 100% yes or 100% no. The Michelin Star Guide content on this show continues to be compelling.
I'm going to say 100% no.
I encourage your honesty. Rusty?
I'm sorry.
Michelin Star Guide
calls it as I see it.
That's right. Michelin Star Guide content continues to be compelling on this show.
I mean, no, because I think it's cool. I think you shouldn't make fun of it. It's great.
John, 100% yes or 100% no. The Michelin Star Guide content continues to be compelling on this show.
It is not compelling. No.
Andrew,
not continued. Never was.
Never was. Well, I got bad news for everybody. It is compelling. What can I tell you? I learn something new every month. I want to get away from it, then I learn something new every month, and we circle right back. It's the engagement farm of 2025. It was once a Smoke Slam. It was once the KCBS scoring. And here we are in 2025, and it's the Michelin Stargate. So I'm not saying you're going to hear about it on the second Tuesday of next month. Draw your own conclusions. Hey, Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You will go to a recently awarded and or announced Michelin Star Guide restaurant in 2025.
Well, I mean, if they had them in Utah, yes. But yeah, I mean, if I could, for sure.
John, you would go to a recently awarded or announced Michelin Star restaurant in 2025?
100% no.
Right. Len?
Not intentionally, but I would certainly not say no to it. So, yes, I would go.
Oh, all right. I'm still going with no. One more before we break. 100% yes or 100% no, John. You believe the pizza oven fad is over?
I believe it is. Yes, 100% yes.
By the way, Len, your co-host, Jeff Cohen, is in the chat room. We say hello to Jeff Cohen.
Hello to the old coot.
The old coot, that's right.
The old coot.
Len, you think the pizza oven fad is over?
No, I do not. I think it's going to get bigger.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You believe the pizza oven fad is over?
It's funny. I was just thinking about this today, and I think it's on the downslope for sure because you just don't see it as much as you did last summer. You saw it everywhere, and now it's just like meh, So I think so. It won't go away, but
I'm with John and Rusty. I think the pizza oven fad is over. I also believe that we could be in a position now where everybody seemingly was coming out with a pizza oven at varying costs. Because I believe we're tailing. We could see an instance where other pizza oven companies might be buying poorer performing pizza oven companies and either doing away with those products altogether or reintroducing those products under whoever buys it in another line. So a bit of a cannibalization of pizza oven companies. John, am I out of my gourd?
No, I think I think a lot of them are just going to die, go away. And then the ones, the top, the cream, we'll call it, that absorption, I can see that happening. Because like you say, it's not going to go away. It just can't continue at the pace that it's been going for. Actually, 6-7 years this has been going on?
Yeah.
It's been going on for a minute.
Or you guys stand by, and we will come back and do the remaining 100% assurity questions. We are here tonight with Len Aberman, co-host of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast. They talk about baseball and barbecue, or BBQ, depending on how you say it. His co-host, Jeff Cohen, is in the instant chat, checking up on Len, making sure he's not joining my squad full time. I pay better, Len. I pay better, Len. So just mention that to Jeff. We also have John Solberg from Michigan, and we have our pal Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah. Before we revisit the assurity questions, let's talk about Green Mountain Grills. For 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene and to the backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the pellet game, no question about that. Their new redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grills blend the proven technology of the past with the technology of the future. Green Mountain Grill is the original innovator in all things Wi-Fi and continues to give the user granular options to control your grill in any environment and from anywhere. Green Mountain Grill also leading the pack in accessory creation, from their pizza attachment that delivers pizza in 2 minutes to rotisseries to add-on side burners that get real hot and electric. Check out their new 2.0 Green Mountain Grill at the website greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. And we are back with the Embedded Correspondents right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we welcome you back. We are here with the Embedded Correspondents, John Solberg, Rusty Monson, and a debut appearance from the officially unofficial New York Embedded Correspondent, Len Aberman. You find him at the Baseball and Barbecue Podcast, or BBQ, depending on how you say it. By the way, quick update on the poll question of the week. Now, 80% of people are saying no. They have not heard of the African charcoal company, so it's racing in the other direction. Thought that was going to be more in line during the first hour, but it's kind of panning out where I thought it would be at this point. All right, I'm not sure where I left off, but we will go to the top and to the right of me, back to Len Aberman. Len, 100% yes or 100% no, the griddle market will continue to be hot the rest of 2025.
All right, I need some clarification on this.
Go ahead.
Are we talking about the individual big griddles, the ones that are just the griddle, or are we talking about griddle inserts in the, that you'll put, the griddles that go in your, say, your gas grill or whatever?
Yeah, I'm talking about freestanding griddle market.
Freestanding. No, I still don't understand. I still don't get it. How, basically you're buying something to make eggs and smash burgers on. I don't understand that.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no, the griddle market will continue to be hot for the rest of 2025.
Get it? Hot. Yes. I think that it will.
John, griddles will remain a thing in 2025.
Coin toss. I'll say yes.
Yes,
but it's a fine line.
All right. I will also say yes at this point. Do you agree with Len's thinking, John, that it's kind of not a lot of variety offered on potential of cooking on a griddle, or has he got a lack of culinary imagination?
No, I agree. It's like, I've got a lot of griddles. I got a ton of griddles. I've had griddles for years, and I do not have and do not see having a standalone griddle because it's fucking stupid. That's what I think.
Rusty, do you love griddling?
I love it. Yeah, for camping specifically, but I love smash burgers, so that's why I like them. I love smash burgers.
That might be a question coming up. But Rusty, we'll go back to you. 100% yes or 100% no. The best griddle innovation to date is the pre-seasoned griddle plate that Weber manufactures.
Nope, it's the burger press. That's what it is.
Len, the best griddle innovation to date is the pre-seasoned griddle plate from Weber.
No, I don't think so.
John?
100% no.
Once again, I have bad news for everybody. The answer is yes. The fact that Weber has been able to come up with some type of process, for the people listening on audio podcast, you can't hear my air quotes I'm delivering, but they've been able to come up with a process to pre-season the griddle plate. The amount of money and time and ass ache this saves. By the way, I do have a Weber slate that is in the backyard with that preseason. I was fully suspect of that. Took it out, put it on. As I said last week, it's not, there's no sheen on it. But I put it on, put the gas on, did a little burn in. That thing was matte black, jet black, just like you had burned it in like a champion, and all that money that you were wasting on all the other normal griddles. And the fact that you don't have to do it. 15 minutes on a burn in, now you're cooking on it. Then, because I'm a complete dick, it was going to rain overnight when I used it for the first time. I left the cover up, let it rain on the griddle plate, came out the next morning, 0 hints of surface rust whatsoever. So I'm not sure exactly what it is they're doing or if it's safe for that matter, but I'm going to assume it is because they're selling it to the masses and they've done testing. But I don't know that. This has to be the best innovation to date for a griddle. John, have I changed your mind?
No, because the best innovation they ever came up with for a griddle was to put a goddamn lid on it so you could keep the fucking rain off it in the first place. The lid is a better innovation than a preseason griddle on a standalone griddle.
Rusty, have I swayed you at all? Oh, no, you're agreeing with John, I see.
No.
Yes. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Len, have I swayed you at all?
Sure. You want to send me one? Go ahead. I'll use it.
Yeah. All right, smartass. We'll see. It's in the mail. All right, let's go to John. John, 100% yes or 100% no. You're shocked that Dr. Barbecue has jumped in bed with African Charcoal Company as the spokesperson.
100% no.
Rusty, surprised that Dr. Barbecue has jumped in bed with African Charcoal Company.
I mean, no. I'm sure you know something I don't.
Len?
No, he's got to make a living.
This is unanimous, again, maybe for the second time this evening. No one was less surprised than me, although half of the embedded correspondents last week were surprised that actually happened. Rusty. 100% yes or 100% no. The Weber Ranch Kettle is making a comeback in 2025.
I don't know what the ranch kettle is.
It's like I don't even know you, Rusty.
I know. It's like
you really don't know what the ranch kettle is?
I don't know. Does Pat LaFrida use it? Let's see.
I think he's got
10. Oh,
it.
shit. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, of course you do. All right. The Weber Ranch Kettle making a comeback in 2025.
God, I hope so. That thing was cool. I saw those down in California. I thought they were badass. They're really neat.
Rusty's going with the yes, Mr. Positivity. Len, the Weber Ranch Kettle making a comeback this year.
No, it's overpriced.
John, Ranch Kettle and a comeback like LL Cool J?
It doesn't need to come back. This question is totally invalid. It's had a consistent market for its entire existence. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. Is it going to make a comeback? I'm going to say no, because one's not required for that piece.
I said this last week. I'll say it again this week. In order to have a comeback, one would have had to have led the market. And I don't believe that the Ranch Kettle has ever led a grilling market. So the answer is no. Would I love one? Yes. Do I agree with Len? And would I shuck out the money? Never. Never. What do you think about the Ranch Kettle, John? You're an expert.
I don't think it's overpriced for the product that you get. I actually bought one for the office because, we got to feed, we cook for people regularly, and you got to feed 50 people, and you don't want it to take 3 hours. So we bought one of those, and it's, you got a big, you want to crank out some burgers, you want to do some stuff. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It was, you've got some great stories about learning how to run it for that kind of a crowd, but you don't want to put 20 pounds of charcoal in it. but I mean, it is what it is. It's very specific. It's very purposeful. The only reason why there's not one in my stable is because of size.
Yeah.
Period. And it's not overpriced for the product that you get, in my opinion.
And you would use it if you had the excess acreage to drop a Ranch Kettle on there. You could use it just as a one person. You just like ball some coal over to one side and just cook there and use the whole thing.
You could do it. You could absolutely do it. Or you could use it as a table to hold your Jumbo Joe, because it's like, so yeah, I actually bought one for the company and put it together, and I get that pleasure without taking up space. But yeah, just having one to have it. Yeah, I'd just have it because I'm weird and that'd be cool. I probably wouldn't use it much.
Rusty, do you envision getting one of these and pressing it into service at Salt City?
Yeah, actually, I think it'd be kind of cool for a couple things. Like I said, when I was in California at a comp, they had them down there and they were using them as 2 zones for briskets, and I was checking them out. They're really cool. You can do a lot of cool stuff with them. And like John said, for parties, they're awesome, and they're really cool grills. I didn't know what it was called, but yeah, I've been wanting one for a while. I think I would use the shit out of it. Not for Salt City, but for my backyard for sure. It'd be perfect for me.
We move on. Let's go back to Len. Len, 100% yes or 100% no. The Weber/Blackstone deal still not being closed as we close out April makes you think this deal won't close.
Yeah, it's been too long. I think I think it's not happening.
Rusty, deals off.
I mean, it's still on the table, so that's good. So I think it'll happen.
Think it will happen. All right. John, 100% yes or 100% no. The Weber-Blackstone deal still not being closed in April makes you think this deal won't close.
100% no.
Right. I said it last week. I have the same thought a week later. I think time kills deals, and I think this deal will not close. I was told by top men in the industry they were expecting to have this thing closed by the end of January. We are now at the end of April. This doesn't feel good to me. I hope I'm wrong, because there's a lot of great things that could be coming out of this merger, whatever the hell they're calling it, combination. This feels weird to me at this point as we're broaching into May, grilling season, full swing. 100% yes or 100% no. John. Smash burgers are the best burgers.
100% no.
Rusty? Smash burgers are the best burgers.
It's not close. It's 4,000% yes.
4,000%, even more than Matt usually says. Len, 100% yes or 100% no. Smash burgers are the best burgers.
I had one of the best burgers this past weekend at Pig Beach, Billy Durney's Burgers, and there is no way a smash burger is as good as that. So 100% no.
Right? Well, we have what we call a split squad here because I will see Rusty's 4,000% and raise it to 4,001%. Yes, they are the best burgers. In fact, I will take my smash burgers over any other burger anywhere on the face of the earth. They are that good. They are that delicious. They are that cheesy, gooey, crusty. Billy Durney, take his burger. I mean, I would love to have it, but I think my smash burger is going to be best. Smash burger is the best burger. Not up for discussion. But we'll go back to Rusty. 100% yes or 100% no? Getting basted will win Memphis in May 2025, not Blues Hog.
I thought they cooked that as Blues Hog, didn't they? I thought. Yeah, I think so.
year.
I think that. I did not know that.
Oh.
If I had to pick between the two, it'd be Getting Basted for sure, 100%.
John, Getting Basted will win Memphis in May 2025, not Blues Hog.
100% yes.
Len?
Getting Basted will win over Blues Hog, but I'm not sure either one of them is going to win. But yes.
All right. Let's do a quick circle back on this question because everybody is picking a Getting Basted. By the way, same with me. It's unanimous for the third time tonight. We go back to John with this question. Brad Leiniger over the field at Memphis in May, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh. Wow. Len, Brad Leiniger over the field at Memphis in May.
Nah. I'll take the field.
Rusty, Brad over the field.
Brad is like 90s Jordan. He's like Wayne Gretzky and whoever's good in baseball. No offense, Len. And he has the best there is. And he definitely has. You can go in with all aces, but you're not always win, but you're favored, and I think that's where he's going to be. I think he's the best to ever do it.
So that's a yes?
Long and short of it, yeah.
All right. I have learned long ago you can pick against a lot of things. You do not pick against Brad Leiniger. I would take Brad Leiniger over the field.
So I am alone on this.
Let's triple back on this one. John, Brad Leiniger is better than Darren Worth.
Yes. I'm going yes. I'm going to go yes.
I'm going to turn off my automation. Sorry about that. Rusty, Brad is better than Darren Worth?
That's a good ass question.
Yeah, I know.
actually.
I know. Pay me the big
I
bucks.
would say I would be an absolute yes, but man, what Darren's been doing lately with nothing and winning has been really cool. I'm gonna say yes though. Gosh, that's a hard one.
Len, Brad Leininger better than Darren Worth.
You know, I'm tired of being the only one alone. So yeah, sure. Yes, he is.
You know, speak your mind. If you want to be alone, be alone.
I don't know. You know what? It's like they're so close. But yes, I will say Brad Leininger is better. Yes.
By the way, for the fourth time tonight, we are unanimous. At this moment, I think Brad is better than Darren. I don't know if there was a time in the past where I would have thought that, but he just fucking wins, that guy. All right, a couple more left. We're almost there. Len, 100% yes or 100% no. Golf sucks.
You're talking about someone where I live is Bethpage Black. I mean, we're in golf country.
I don't know what that
here.
means.
Well, it's a course.
Oh, all right.
It's quite a great golf course.
Take your word.
No, golf does not suck.
No?
I used to, when I was younger, watching golf was like watching paint dry. But now I kind of enjoy it. So, no, golf does not suck.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. Golf sucks.
Golf sucks. Yes. The worst.
John, golf sucks.
100% yes.
Yes. And to make it 75%
here we go.
In unanimousness, yes, golf sucks. I think I would rather watch soccer, and I would not watch soccer. But golf sucks. It's the worst. 100% yes or 100%
why?
no.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Can we go back?
Yes, please. Go
all
ahead,
right.
Len.
Why? What do you guys have against golf? It's you don't like watching it on TV. You don't like playing it. What
Keep going.
Don't you like?
Keep going. List them all, Len. You obviously know. You obviously secretly think golf sucks. You're listing them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. It's boring. The players are not entertaining. Who cares about golf? Golf's hard to play. It's boring. It's expensive. I don't want to buy the clubs. I want to carry it around. I want to hear people talk about how great they are at golf, but they really suck. It's boring. It's expensive to play. I don't want to buy the clubs. I mean, I could go on and on all day. Rusty, did I miss anything?
You missed one big one, the number one thing. I don't want to be associated with guys who sit in line or just do whatever and do fake air golf swings all the damn time.
Right.
I don't want to be associated with those people.
We don't want that. No way. John, did I miss anything?
It takes like 4 hours to do this shit, right? Plus you got to drive there and drive home. Like you got 6 fucking hours to go pay $100 and take a fucking crooked stick and hit a ball as far as you can and then chase a motherfucker. If I'm going to do that shit, my dog's at least going to go bring me the ball back.
Right.
I got time for that shit.
I think $100 is probably cheap. How much does it get on? Does it get on to go to the John Wright Black course you were talking about there, Len?
Oh, I don't even know how much it is. It's not that I don't play golf. I mean, I play miniature golf, but that's about it. No, I don't play, but I just enjoy watching it sometimes, and I think it takes a lot of skill. I've tried it; it's not easy, and yes, it does take time. If you have young children and you can't be away from home for a while, it's not something you do, but it could be fun. I just don't know how much it costs.
John, golf is a sport. Yes or no?
Yes, it's a sport.
Rusty, golf's a sport?
I would agree with that. Yeah, I think it's a sport for sure.
Len, golf is a sport?
Oh, yeah.
Fine, I'll say it. Nobody else is going to say it. Golf is not a sport. Golf is a skill. You do not need to be in spectacular world-class shape to be a great golfer. History has proven that. Even though Tiger Woods was muscular, and that has spawned a group of players that also appear to be muscular. Some of the greatest players in golf's history have been the opposite of muscular. In fact, I would say they were fat. So it's a skill, just like archery is not a sport. It's a skill, just like bowling is not a sport. It's a skill. Football is a sport. Basketball is a sport. Baseball is a sport. All these other things are skills. Accept it and move on. Everything can't be a sport. Hey, Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no so far? Go ahead. Are you going to weigh in?
According to the Oxford Dictionary,
yes,
a sport is any activity involving physical exertion and skill played according to a set of rules where an individual or team compete against each other.
So I made my point. Golf, not a sport. 100% yes or 100% no? Rusty.
Yeah.
So far, the worst name for Greg and Sam's new podcast is Barbecue and the Jew.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, wait, sorry. John, worst name so far for Greg and Sam's new podcast, Barbecue and the Jew.
It is the worst name. It is 100% the worst name.
Len, the worst name today.
The worst.
The worst.
You can't get any worse than that.
Oh, you could get worse than that, believe me. But I agree with everybody so far. That is the worst name. All right, we've come to the end. We're almost right on time. Thank goodness you guys are professionals. There's no doubt about it. Rusty, before we go, we have time for promotion. What are we promoting tonight?
Well, if you're ever in the Salt Lake area and you want some barbecue, come on by. We have a permanent location. And if you clean grills, hit me up.
That's right.
And the Barbecue and Baseball podcast is a really good podcast, by the way. I've said it before, but it's a great one. I don't listen to I don't do the baseball thing because I just don't watch it, but good podcast.
John, what are we promoting tonight?
Much.
As always, the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this Friday. Check it out and make sure you go find wherever you get your favorite podcast, search the BBQ Central show and subscribe.
Len, what are we promoting tonight before I let you go?
Let me just say before I promote.
Go ahead.
What an honor. What an honor to be with all of you tonight. This was a true delight, an honor. Thank you for making me feel so welcome. And now, Baseball and Barbecue podcast this week, dropping this week, is Scott Rogowski. You may remember him from a trivia quiz show game that was on your phone. He also did a baseball thing. We've got Michael Goff from King Louie's Meat Apostles. It's a rub company. We also had an episode last week with Doug Scheiding and my illustrious co-host Jeff Cohen with an interview with Fred Robles.
Oh.
So we just keep putting them out. So please, Baseball and Barbecue podcast. And by the way, Rusty, I think your show is excellent as well. And John, your 10 minutes of the Barbecue Central show, also excellent. If we're throwing around the love, you guys are the best. So thank you.
All right. Well, Len, great debut episode. Thanks for coming in and being the officially unofficial embedded correspondent of New York. There's Rusty, our pal from the great city of Utah, below Len. And just to the left, if you're looking at the screen of Rusty, is our pal John Solberg from Michigan, the second longest running embedded correspondent, but the longest running embedded correspondent tonight due to the tenure of the people on the dais. Also, the executive producer of the Best Moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less that you can subscribe to each Friday. Gents, appreciate you coming out tonight, and we'll see you next month. There they go. Ho! We did it. Somehow we got right to the end, and it looks like we are going to make it out right on time, if I can. All the way back in the first hour, Jess Pryles for the whole first hour. Delightful conversation. If you missed it, you'll get it tomorrow in audio replay, or as soon as this show ends tonight, video will archive automatically. You can go back and watch it. Then the second hour, we had a John Solberg from Michigan. We had a Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah. We had a Len Aberman, officially unofficial embedded correspondent from New York, who might have earned himself fill-ins going forward. It was that good. Big show planned for you. Oh, wait. No show next week. No show next week. I'm going to be in Vegas. This was the show for next week. So how do I always leave you? September 11, 2001. I will never forget. And until 2 weeks from Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, your program host, the proudest American, Greg Rempe, saying, Shabba!
This is Sylvie Curry from Ramona, California, and I'm listening to the Barbecue Central Show.